Uh, um, this is apparently from a book called The Power of Words. You can get on Lulu. Um, this one's called Misbehavior. All of you out there doing rude things, don't you know your bad ways have significant repercussions? Why is your intent always on harming instead of on goodwill? This world has suffered at the hands of bad deeds. Many have lost their life, and the plight of others is shameful to witness. Let us go along to encourage goodness and justify the importance of lawful authority so that people can live in freedom, in a freedom of love, peace, and harmony. And this one's called River. The flowing of the river meanders and turns as passers-by look on to see its production surging past. The ripples swaying with rhythmic crossing and starring the birds that land on it with gleeful passing. Yes, this river is therapeutic in its awakening, while boats, barges, and ships adorn its glory. Like rivers everywhere, see the surface ruffled as the wind blows, disturbing its sleep. See how suddenly it changes from calm to storm. Yes, yes, let us be thankful for the rivers which grace our cities and countryside with a tremendous belonging. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
They're lovely poems. The first one put me in mind of some of the awful leaders we've got in the world at the moment and what they're doing to people. Well timed.
Yeah, definitely. Horrible.
And the second one was a lovely sort of bringing mental health into nature, and
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. That's great.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Sue, can you do us a poem, please, or several?
Mute. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Thanks.
I'm only going to stay for half. So can I do 3 or maybe just 3.5?
Well, the more we get from you, the better, Sue. Because
you sure you're happy? I don't want to just take everyone's space.
No.
Could you just do 6?
Right, this is a new one. I'm not quite sure about it now. But anyway, it's called Betrayal. Once your salt was always on my tongue, the shock of it, the startling way it shone, broke into grains, broke free, spilled over amply, poured itself between us, and I would lick the salt in you. But then you changed your mind, took your salt away. The time for seasoning was past, and now it's well rinsed from my lips, dry brushed from my skin, cold laundered from my sheets. I've closed the lid on salt, concealed it far back on a shelf, thrown just a pinch for loss, for grace, some kind of vindication. Thank you. And just to lighten things a little, don't take a poet out for lunch. Don't take a poet out for lunch, for we are balanced on a cliff edge, dreaming sunsets, midnight, autumn leaves, incessant rain, collecting petals, feathers, photos, scraps of paper, metaphors, disjointed lines we reposition fruitlessly and endlessly. Don't take a poet out for lunch, for we are always gently probing, though we do not analyze. It isn't motives we are looking for, but words, a path, a coup de foudre, a change of key, some nuanced mood. Be warned that everything you give away ends up as stanza fuel. But mostly we are lost, all hunting for our faces in a foxed, uncertain mirror. So don't ever play the game of saying what you think, for there is no safe answer. Everything you offer up, however helpful, soothing, apposite, is never quite enough.
Nice one.
And then there's this one. I think I probably read this before, but I've changed it slightly, called Numbered. Something seen, half seen, glimpsed from the corner of my eye. Just this morning when I turned, no one was there. But often these days, under leafless trees, a something seems to wait, perhaps a bird which shadows me, faint charcoal scratch. It has a sound of something crisp, the turning of a page. I've seen it lately many times, but maybe, yes, quite probably, just something in my eye. And there's a short one, which I've written because I'm fed up with everything at the moment. At the Crossroads, it's called. If I said that you could have everything at the touch of a button, that you could look in a mirror every minute to see the world with yourself at the center, that you could have all the richness of the world and its creations, all its triumphs and despairs, and all its treasured places, all you wish to know and free to carry with you always. How does that sound to you? And all you'd have to do, just give away your soul.
Amen.
That last one was devilishly good, Sue.
Thank you.
Right,
I'm so
right,
fed up with
right.
AI and things and people
Yeah.
stealing everyone's work and all that.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Two more to go.
Lovely poems. I think
Shouting.
we all enjoyed them, and
That's
Nick
really
was
good.
sending all his signals up on his symbols up on his phone of appreciation while you were reading. I don't know if you saw them, but the hearts floating everywhere. There they go. Yes. So thanks, Sue. That was lovely. Very nice. Can you just remind everyone about your book, your pamphlet, please? A new one. What it's called? And where
Oh,
you
yes,
get it?
hang on. Actually, I might even have a copy here so I can show you. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's called Between the Words. Sorry, I'm probably muted. Am I muted? Yes.
You're fine. No, you're fine. You're muted now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Between the Words. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can see it, and it's Cinnamon Press, and it's on Amazon.
Right.
Sue, I've got a copy, Sue.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. It's really kind.
Yeah.
Thank
Very nice.
you.
Yeah.
The cover's
thank you.
beautiful and the words.
Yeah, no,
really
the cover's lovely. The guy who did it,
Amazing.
lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, really
Great.
lovely.
And I'll get Nick to do a blurb for his new pamphlet.
Yes, it was
Amazing.
lovely.
Yeah,
Yes, great. We
we'll get
met.
to that.
I've got a copy of, which is very good, because I think
Amen.
Nick's speaking up so much in there on behalf of people who are
Yeah.
overlooked, and
Yeah,
you know,
we love those poems.
really
yeah.
good. Okay, so we're going to move on to Alan, please. Alan, hi. You're muted.
everyone.
Yeah, good.
So I've spent the past 5 months since I came back from New Zealand going over my childhood, which I wrote before I'd even knew how to write, and I've sort of squashed things down and cut and thrown half of it away. So there's a lot of reflection. I've called it growing up rather than my childhood because it takes me from when I was born to when I was 20. And this is called The Library. I liked Saturday mornings when I was a child. I'd go shopping with my mum and then to the library. We'd go through the large oak doors and you immediately smelt the varnished parquet floor. I was always fascinated by the long wooden drawers that filed the library tickets. They had brass knobs and holders. They had alphabetical cards for filing. The librarian would take the ticket out and replace it in the little cardboard pocket in the returned book, whilst mum went off to look for new books to take home. I particularly liked the squeaking sound of my plimsolls when I walked across the floor to the junior library. This would always cause people to turn and look disapprovingly. This made me smile for some reason. The junior library doors would swing closed behind me with a whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. I would look through the books and comics and read bits or just look at the pictures, but I don't remember ever taking any books home. When mum was ready, she would look through the door and mouth, "Come on, time to go." As we walked to the counter to check out her books, I would give the balls of my feet little twists. This would create a louder squeak, bringing looks of consternation and fingers raised to lips, miming shush from the other library users. This amused me greatly and made me grin. Mum would say, "You know, you shouldn't do that." This made me smile even more, and she would just roll her eyes and tell me to hurry up. Now, when I'm in galleries or quiet places and I hear my shoes squeaking on the floor, I can't resist giving my feet a twist to amplify my steps. Now my wife looks disdainfully at me saying, "Will you ever grow up?" I just smiled blankly, remembering those Saturday mornings with my mum, then think, nah, what's the point? So, that's it. So it's been quite good fun actually going through it all and just reminiscing. Get how much stuff you remember. This one's called Airfix. Stick all the plastic bits together. Usually do this in bad weather. Made the Bismarck and the QE2 all held together with polyurethane glue. I made aeroplanes as well, though they never flew. Lancaster bomber, Junkers, and a Spitfire too. So can float the transfers into place. These fiddly jobs done slowly. Sometimes they were difficult but fun. If I needed help, I'd get my mum. Sometimes glue and bits stuck to your fingers. Oh, how the memories linger. There was the historical figures easily built, dob the glue onto the pins, hold the parts together once you've guided them in. Joan of Arc, Nelson, Henry VIII stuck together. Now I get my Humbrol enamel paint. Pink for the faces, red for Caesar's cape. Now I'm finished, what shall I do? On thread I hang the planes that never flew. Put the ships on the blue carpeted floor, figurines on a shelf behind the bedroom door. I wonder if model making was so popular back then because we were all addicted to the glue. Thank you.
Right. That you took us back again. That was lovely, Alan. I could always feel the sticky fingers, you know, when you're trying to glue things and you're a little kid and your fingers are sticking together. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. Very atmospheric. And the library, you could almost smell the furniture polish in there and, hear all the... And that. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Can we move over to Orlando? Are you doing any tonight, Orlando?
I will if you push me. Yeah.
I'm going to push you as hard as I can. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If I can find the page. Oops, sorry. Okay. I did 3 poems for the months, not for the months, but for the seasons. Actually, there are 4 seasons, aren't there? So I missed one out. Never mind. This is summer, and it's about an old woman who could be any old woman, really. So this is called Mrs. Magellan's Summer. Mrs. Magellan sits on the sofa watching summer creep in at the door, which someone has kindly hooked back, letting in gusts of warm air with green smells and flower smells and birds' scribbled voices. She knows which is blackbird and robin. The rest fill her ears with a splatter of sound, like words that have started to blur and float free from their tethers. She remembers when words had a music like birds, but with chords and crescendos and weight, and when speaking brought meaning that tied her to others who caught up her speech and replied in a pattern she knows she is losing. The quick to and fro from her mind to theirs, slowing down, lacking sharpness. She knows from their smiles she's missed what they're saying. She clings to the drift of their phrases and breathes in the air and the birdsong and voices, hoping for calm, and waits to hear more. Is that? That is that.
Another one.
Well, I don't know.
Yes, go on. One.
You'd be very welcome. It's obviously gone down well. Looking at all the faces on the screen.
Deadly hush. I mean,
Everyone's muted.
oh, well, everyone's, oh, you can make rude remarks if you like. I should be quite glad, really. Anyway, I did this one, then have the winter one, because that's the next one that I can find. I haven't practiced this, but there we are. Mrs. Magellan's Winter. Mrs. Magellan sits on the sofa, considers her garden. Once she slept she swept leaves, cut back branches, made a pile like a rook's nest, ready to burn. Now she watches the cat as it slides through the tangle of grasses and pounces, catching and killing some scuttling creature only cats see. She waits for the cat to come weaving and purring for food round her swollen old legs. But the garden is empty. Pale sun drips a faint yellow wash down bare trees. Her garden is craving attention and yearning for strong, busy hands to clear pathways and edges, to turn over earth and weed beds for spring. She needs her bent hands on her lap and remembers the flowers. Who had planted them? White, yellow, blue. She murmurs their names like a mantra: Snowdrop, Forsythia, Scylla, and strokes her fat hands. Yeah, just to cheer you up a bit.
That was lovely. Thank you. Both really nice poems. Wow. You bring a lot of feeling into your poetry, Orlando, you know, the love of nature. Very good.
And love of old age too.
Well, yes. Well, we have to do that. Well, I do.
Something like that. Anyway.
It's a blessing.
Well, good evening, Anne. I'm sorry I haven't said hello to you previously. Nice to see you. You are muted at the moment, but you need to be unmuted any second because I'm going to ask you to read. Nearly there. Still muted. Still muted, Anne. There should be an unmute button somewhere. Down on the screen, there's a little symbol that says mute. So you've got a mic.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are. Got you.
86.
Bless you.
It's as if my 86-year-old head has been dipped in flour. It's as if my face has been left in the rain, drying after it's crumpled. It's as if my 80-year-old legs walk around in slow-mo even when I hurry. It's as if I'm in a featureless desert, dry as a bone. It's as if I've become an elderly relative I can almost recognize. That's it.
Is that it? Didn't put any more for us, Anne? That was a vintage performance there, like for fine wine.
Right.
Yes.
Thought for the day. I want you to know your sex, your gender don't matter to me unless we're going to have an intimate partnership, in which case it's relevant, or unless one of us is privileged or perhaps disadvantaged by our sex or gender. In all else, I can't think of anything which makes your sex, your gender, of interest to me. Not my business. So you don't need to use plural pronouns to show that you're not like me. I simply don't care. And while I'm about it, I know God has no gender, so I can call God he. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean men are better than women, or God is a male either.
All provoking, Anne. Got another one for us, or are you going to wait for part two?
I'll give you another one.
Okay, please.
It's called Skin. Though it keeps the outside out and the inside in, I hate my skin. I hate my skin. My skin's not sweet and soft as silk, as lovely and smooth and white as milk. Instead, it's brown and far from feathery. It's old and wrinkled and looks quite leathery. And like a plant too long ago potted and never watered, it's rough and spotted. But some there are whose skin is broke, whose insides through the outside poke, turning the skin a forbidding red, and sometime later blue and dead. So though I really hate my skin, it does keep the outside out and the inside in. That's it.
Yes, thank you, Dad. Lovely, 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 lovely. Proper sense of humour. Now, Nick's emerged from his den. Nick, how are you? You sound better unmuted.
I'm
That's it.
fine.
Yeah, good. Have you got any poems for us, please?
No.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
All right then.
Yes.
I've been writing a few. Well, it's a similar common theme. I guess you'll guess it quite quickly. Probably about the first word. So the first one is called Warm Feelings. Some days you leap out of bed. Some days it's just too hot. Some days you stay in bed. Some days it's just too hot. Some days you wake and remember you're alone. And it doesn't matter what you do. Some days it's just too hot. And this is called The Swelter. Doused, refreshed, blood pooling beneath goosebumps. Your head responsive for the first time in forever, observes how quickly the work is undone, how quickly the swelter swarms into every fold of your flesh. Is that still the shower that you're toweling off? Or is the brushed cotton dripping its sweat on your arm? You reach for the shelf to spray coolness from a can. The slick flesh refuses, resisting antiperspirant, slides it effortlessly to puddle on the bathroom floor. As summer itself cloys through the frosted window glass, infiltrates the seam around the frame and laughs, a huge, overly familiar guffaw, furnace forged, to weaken any expectation of relief. And the last one is Prayers from the New Desert. We watch the landscape fold itself into itself with ease, even as the parching sun dropped us to our knees again. Desperate as our allotments for the gifts of rain clouds, to end the grasshopper scratch symphonies with the loud downpour of thunderous summer storms, please God, to wash us to our core, flesh scored, rinsed of salt rime and sweat. Oh, to be made freshly young. In this desert we dream through dry lips, our unresponsive tongues skitter slur. The incantations, rain prayers go unheeded. Distant horizons blur, shimmering. Only our liberal application of cream prevents our distressed, blistering skin from peeling to reveal the white cooked meat we are now within, wrapped in our red crisping carcasses, staggering through wastelands, trapped in silence, for days that stretch and slide into seemingly endless defiance, compliance, succumbing to the heat.
Well, that's the use of commas, whether it matters or whether it matters. Hey.
I probably put all the breaks in the wrong places because
Yes.
messed around with the line breaks and now it's harder to read. Maybe I should put them back to where they should be.
It sounds pretty hot down there in London.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
It has
I
been,
don't know if I could cope with that. It's been nice up here, quite pleasant. Yeah. Thank you, Nick. So, where are we up to now? I think it's Peter, are you reading for anyone else tonight, Peter?
No, only I'm going to read a couple of poems by M.S. Merwin.
Okay.
W.S. Merwin, sorry.
W.S. Merlin.
Merwin. Merwin.
I think it said Merkin.
W.
Poem entirely.
He was United States Poet Laureate in 2010 to 11.
Oh, right.
And these poems have no commas in, so.
Yes, interesting.
Due light. Now in the blessed days of more and less, when the news about time is that each day there is less of it, I know none of that as I walk out through the early garden. Only the day and I are here with no before or after, and the dew looks up without a number or a present age. Relics. Before I knew words for it, I loved what was obsolete, crumpled at the foot of a closet, lost in the street, left out in the rain, in its wet story from another age, in a language that was lost, like the holes in socks. I loved the rust with its steering wheel in mid-air above the forbidden chassis and the mouths of tunnels, the eyes of dust. No floor with its pedals that I was never to touch, because all of it was dangerous, and the touch of it would never come off, though I could tell that no one really believed that, as it stood there behind the garage that had floated to us like an ark from the days of horses, and I stood at the corner and listened. And the headboard. When I was a child, I slept in the old bed, a boat from another time, with a high headboard and a name. It was Marge's bed, with its own history that I could never be told. Before I went to school, a bell stood on the floor beside the bed in case I felt sick in the night, and I knew what it was to be punished without knowing why. But one night the moon woke me from the sky across the street, and I got out of bed to look at it, and stood leaning against the headboard, with my head between the headboard and the cold wall, with its ancient smell of wallpaper. There, Marge's headboard held me pinned at the wall and would not let me go. I did not want to call. I went on watching the moon, alone, listening to the still night, hearing a faraway streetcar, a cricket somewhere in the dark, while I watched the moonlight, until Marge's headboard let me go, and I climbed back into the unknown story, taking that sound with me.
Wow, it's really good. Really
He's
good.
lovely. Can I say about?
Yes, you say about.
Thank you. He was a wonderful man. Bought an island, so he must have made something out of his poems. Somewhere, Hawaii, somewhere like that, and it was just very small. But he managed to change the climate by planting trees all over this island. So instead of it being sort of soggy, boggy, whatever it was, or terribly dry, I don't really know. But anyway, the climate improved vastly, which I think is a wonderful thing to do.
It is. He sounds way ahead of his time, doesn't he, really?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Well, if we all did it,
Yes, yes, quite, yes.
it would be good.
Yes,
Certainly would.
lovely.
Well, I thought we wouldn't have many. We're going to shoot through this quickly because it's only 20:32. So I've got a fairy tale here that I wrote many years ago. If you get fed up, go like that, and I'll stop and I have to do the next meeting. It is 9 pages long, but I quite like it. But you know, anyway, we'll see how it's in rhyming couplets, and it's in the theme of Alan. You know, going back to childhood, really, fairy tales, aren't we, Alan? So there you go. So it's called The Red Fox. 3 princes set out to catch a thief, whom it seems is a magical prize. The thief, that is. The king of Bohemia had a wondrous tree where one apple grew daily. The king of Bohemia had a wonderful tree where one apple of gold grew daily. Though in terms of wealth his income was slight, for each apple that grew was stolen each night. He summoned his sons, 1, 2, and 3, and said, "Now, my boys, you must listen to me. I'll cede half my kingdom to the one who can find this horrible thief who is so very unkind. The first sunset watch, but soon fell asleep. The next night, son two's watch he could not keep. The third son lined his chair with a hedgehog skin, which if he fell asleep would prick like a pin. With the witching hour, he saw an incredible sight. A firebird pecked at the apple and lit up the night. The young prince fired a bolt from his bow, which knocked off a feather near the firebird's toe. The firebird flew off to be seen no more, but its bright golden feather was left on the floor. Courtiers said to the king, "This will light up your walls, plus the streets in the town, the moat and the malls. The firebird is famous. It's a thing that men seek. It's worth all the gold that you have in your keep." The king pined for the bird until he was sick and would only be cured by the firebird's music. He called for the princes all over again. "He who finds the firebird will inherit my reign." With that, each prince said farewell to the king, and the search for the firebird did now begin. In time, the path taken was split into three, the young prince saying, "You may leave the small path to me." On each track, they stuck a twig so each would know. And on the bird finder's track, a tree would magically grow. The oldest prince, who was haughty and proud, met a red fox who asked if he'd be allowed to share some food in the proud prince's pack, but his crossbow bolt made the red fox run back. The same thing happened with prince number 2, so from his cruel arrow, the red fox flew. Red fox met good fortune with prince number 3, who said, "Come, little fox, share this food with me." There you go. You can tell which one's going to be successful already. Part 2. One prince finds a friend in a magical fox, but errs in his quest through his materialistic upbringing. The young prince told Red Fox of the mission he had. The Red Fox said, "To help you, I'd be glad. But to find the firebird, first you must go to the palace of copper, which well I know." Red Fox said, "Young prince, listen well, heed what I say. Let the palace guards sleep at the end of the day. Creep in, you will find 2 aviaries of bird, where you'll find your firebird sleeping at the back of the third. Take special care to coop him in a wooden cage. Just don't disturb him or you'll face a great rage." The prince quietly went in as advised to do, creeping past guards and parrots and white cockatoo. When the beauty of the firebird he did behold, he dismissed the advice that he'd been told. "How can I cage splendor in wood so old, when there's that lovely cage there, all fashioned from gold?" The move woke up the firebird, who whistled out loud, to be answered by bird song from the full avian crowd. Then an army of guards came rushing in to haul the young prince in front of their king. He stated his mission to the Copper King, saying, "To recover my sick father must hear the firebird sing." The king said, "You can have the firebird and your head can remain, if you bring me back the horse with the golden mane." The pact was made, and then he left in disgrace, knowing the wrath of the red fox he must now face. "Oh, foolish, foolish, foolish prince, whenever will you listen? Don't covet every golden thing that seems to gleam and glisten." Then Red Fox said, "I must help you still, alack and alas. I know the gold-maned horse resides at the Silver Palace." I don't see any yawning yet. No, we're okay. Arrive at night, still past the guards again, lead Goldmane out on a halter that's plain. If you do otherwise, it could just lead to the loss of your head as well as a steed. Inside the fort, you'll find stables 3. In the very end one, the Goldmane will be. Like a small flitting bat, the young prince went in, past the guards and the horses, who were soundly sleeping. He was struck dumb by the beauty of the golden mane, and judged the old leather halter as far too plain. He put on a fine halter all encrusted with gold, but Goldmane she reared up, as Red Fox had foretold, with a clattering of hooves and whinnying and braying. Into the arms of tough guards the young prince was straying. To the Silver King he had to please his cause, and the king conditionally offered the gold-maned horse. "You, young prince, must go to the Black Sea and bring back gold-haired Princess Gilda to me." When he re-emerged, Red Fox let out a groan. "You're not safe to be let out all alone. But I'll help you once more, all out of pity, to bring Gold of the Gold back from the Black Sea. Well, I think I'll have a break now because it's that's about a quarter of it. Anyway, that's where we're up to. I'll read some more. I'll read some more, and then part 2 a little bit more, and then probably the next Zoom I'll read the rest of it.
I like
I
your
haven't got.
story.
It's not, I'm trying to
Amen.
read it off the screen because the printer's not working. That's the difficulty.
Ah,
So it's really difficult.
For those of you who missed the ending, I'll give you a clue. The prince gets to go.
really?
How did you ever guess that? That is incredible, Nick. How did you get to that one?
Premonition.
No, I think evil wins in the end. I think
Evil wins. Oh, okay.
No, no.
he misses out. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he's
We'll
such.
just have to wait and see, won't we?
Well, yeah, he's not going to do well because he's a bit stupid, isn't he? Really. I mean, he doesn't follow the Red Fox's advice. So
Yeah. Doesn't deserve a goal.
no, Horror Fox, does he?
No.
What's he go?
No, these were originally like I think this one was from like the Balkans region.
Oh, yeah.
This one, so they're all kind of all 4 I've written of them, and they're all based on that sort of area.
Mhm.
I need to get a drink.
And there is a common theme, intelligent women and stupid men seems to be a common theme, and talking animals who help you out if you're good to them. Yeah.
I'm going to go, guys. I will see you next time.
Okay,
so
take care, Sue.
Lovely to see you all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see you.
See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Alan, do you want to start us, please?
can do. I'm going to continue with my childhood.
Right.
This is called Steam. Whenever I walked over a railway bridge, if I heard the chuff of an engine, it was a call to climb up on the wall and look over. If I was lucky, it might be a Pullman from Dover to Dover. With my feet on the ledge and hands on top, I'd pull myself up and hang on tight, trying not to slip in the hope of getting a sight of some big engine. What track is it on? Then I'd move along to get above the train. If I'm not in the right place, I'd move and climb again. You had to be perfectly placed so that you could be doused with the smoke and steam as the train went under the bridge. The smell, sound and power was amazing. My mum thought my behaviour quite extreme. There was a bridge near where I lived that was bombed in the Second World War. A pedestrian footbridge had been erected to stop to help the locals cross the railway rather than do a mile detour. I loved coming here. There were 6 tracks, and standing on this open chain link footpath, there was nowhere to hide from the smoke and steam. You could wave to the engine drivers, and if they saw you, they'd wave and blast their whistle. There were little engines shunting stuff from A to B. There were fast trains down from London. This was the best place to see all the comings and goings in those dying days of steam. And this one's called Bank Holidays. Bumper to bumper, here we go, crawling down the busy roads, off on our short weekend break, disappointed by the time it takes. Decided not to travel far, finally arrive, unload the car, a cup of tea and off to bed. Next morning, awake, fresh, our tiredness shed. Breakfasted, now to the beach, wrapped in jumpers to the teeth, sitting huddled behind a windbreak with our coffee, sandwiches and cake. Other families hunkered down, the wind flaps our towels around. Some brave souls paddle in the sea, but don't go further than their knees. Playing cricket, frisbee or football, people do anything to keep warm. Some seem immune to the cold. Down the beach, a ball now rolls, hastened by the quickening wind, held by the sea when it goes in. All the children run about, hear their laughter, hear them shout. Repeated for a few long days, people stroll or watch waves, or spend time skimming stones, glad to have time of their own. these days punctured by fresh air's heavy sleep. Monday evening in the car and home we creep. Bumper to bumper, here we come, glad to be home when the slow journey is done. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Alan. It's my daughters keep on, you know, Dad, you got to write down what it was like after the war and all that kind of stuff. And I said, do you know, it seems such a chore, but you know, playing on bomb sites and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
all those poems you just read kind of bring back so many memories of the 50s and 60s, you know, well, the 50s in particular. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. When I was doing it, people said to me, I don't know how you have the memory to do it.
Mm.
But once you start writing about one thing, another thing pops up. It took me ages to do, I must say, but it was really fun doing it. It's been even more fun actually going back over it, because now that I know what I'm doing with my writing, rather than where I had no idea initially. So, but yeah, it's been good fun.
I seem to have taken my face off here, but it might be a blessing to you. I don't know how to get it back on. So I'll go into all these.
Down the bottom left-hand corner, there's a thing called video, George.
Yeah, start video, it says here. Start video.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Wonderful. Stop video, start video. Right, thank you. It's nice here, sharing the technology, isn't it? It's quite useful. Steve, have you got any more poems for us, please?
Sure, George.
Thank you.
This one's called Righteousness. It is always good to be righteous, showing love to your fellow man. We live in a world full of sadness and woe. Some people are desperate, some have lost loved ones, some are devastated. Righteousness comes from our humane nature, incorporating the values of good morality as it used to be in days gone by. The competitiveness and kicking over of life amongst people definitely shows a decline in everyday understanding. Learning does not seem to be perpetrated in an orderly fashion. Yes, let's let righteousness rule us some more, so that young ones can be diverted from immoral conduct. And this one called The Croydon I Live. Croydon is a town of immense reliability. It caters for people's special needs and vulnerabilities. There is the library, which is of so much worth. Every time I go there, I feel I've been to a new earth. The staff and I exchange traditional chit-chat. The friendships I've developed have enriched my life in many ways. I go through the poetry group in Croydon Library on the second Saturday of every month. This event is typical of the facility. I can find nothing to criticize about the beautiful surroundings that cater for so many different people. It is a pleasure to hear poems read with much enlightenment and grace. When I read my passage, I feel a tremendous buzz, having the opportunity to share in Croydon brilliant poetic culture. So to summarize, I'll always appreciate a good aura in a town of splendid special delights. Thank you.
Oh, it's lovely. A lot of your poetry is about sharing and giving, isn't it? It's a lovely humanity to what you write.
I don't know where that comes from, you know, George. I suppose because having, you know, been in a mental institution and then seeing that side of life, and then you know, listening to ghetto music, you know, like Bob Marley. I mean, because they were talking about, you know, tribulation, difficulty, suffering, and then being in the church. So it's just and because it gives, you know, having been in hospital, it gives you that sort of empathy. And because the pen was always a tool for me to express myself, it just comes out in that way, George.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. You're very in touch with all of that. It's good.
Yeah, I care about people, you see, that's right.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks.
Anne, any first, please?
Reality. I don't know why I called it reality, really. But there you go. In the bubble of my being, I dream of death. Face finally my own mortality. World without end, without me. Looking back along a long life's day. Dismembered memories of where and with whom. Now turning forward to the future, I find not far away a brick bleak wall, beyond which is nothing, is never annihilation, cessation, silence, all life, all living, all loving, wiped out, washed away, wept away. In the bubble of my being, I see my death.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's to cheer you up.
Yes.
Bless.
Wind. Outside wind, not inside wind. A gentle breeze pokes delicately between the coyly quivering leaves. Above those bushes, a sudden gust clasps the tree in its rough embrace, threatening violence and singing rude songs. Blown by the wind, rain scuds horizontally across the windows, leaving dirty streaks on the virginal panes. Whatever you do, beware of wind's seduction and the rain's abuse.
Lovely.
So,
Thank Right.
I've got one more for you.
Yes, please.
There is a load on my heart. The Jews of the Holocaust, the Rohingyas, the Kurds, Syrians, Palestinians, Yemenis, so many others. They suffer, they die, for what, not who they are. But we who survive, avoid persecution, show that we have not changed. We have not learned from the past. We're united. We know we belong together in hating, together in fearing. Those who are different, sometimes we tweet abuse, sometimes we attack them, sometimes we kill. In difficult times, it is vital to keep smiling and laughing. But I cry inside every day for those we've rejected to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah. Very timely. Very timely, that. Thank you, Anne.
That's it.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks. Orlando, have you any more for us, please?
She became invisible at once.
Yes,
Oh.
magic, isn't it? I keep doing that. I don't think I'm really here.
Have to keep your poetry within reach. Keep your poems within reach.
Right. This is a cheery little number. It's entitled Dead. Christina Rossetti says the word quite openly. When I am dead, she says, not when I pass away, pass over, or pass on, or breathe my last. Not when I'm taken or depart this life, nor does she mention choirs invisible of joining, daisies pushing up, toes turning up, or curtains ringing down. I'm sure she never knew that buckets could be kicked, nor is she going to the other side. When I am dead, she says. No flowers by request. And though she doesn't seem to mind the rain, I feel she wants to keep that bloody nightingale from singing. It's lucky that she died too soon to hear it dueling with a cello in a garden for the BBC. When I am dead, I don't want anyone to weep, wear black, look miserable, look with a downcast eye, paint on a scarlet smile, and wear that crimson dress you bought in Spain. Dig out the sexy silver number. Comb your moustache, put on your gold embroidered waistcoat, or the demure Jane Muir in colours bright as butterflies. Get the bottles in, wine, brandy, gin. Pass round a tattered photograph. Don't sigh. Extol my gifts. She made a good rice pudding, read some books, liked sitting under trees, and always had a bottle and some glasses near at hand. Sing us a song, drink up, and then feel free to dish the dirt. Wish there was more of it to make you laugh. I shall not care. Say what you like. Shan't listen. Shan't be there.
Nice one. Nice one.
Good.
Thank you, Len. That's great. I was thinking of not waving but drowning when you were in.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I
Good
was
addition.
thinking of Peter, like combing his moustache and sitting there.
Oh,
with his...
Oh,
there we are. Yes, yes.
yeah.
If only
I'm
I
not
could
sure the
give you
silver
a-
dress is really Peter though.
No, it was the waistcoat I thought for him.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. I thought this was like the same person doing all of it.
No.
Here's another one.
I don't know.
If you have, please do.
Well, I have, but
She's
I
gone
probably
invisible again.
no. This isn't. Miss. I don't think this is going back to childhood. I've probably read it umpteen times. I don't know because I obsess with the past. This is called Beliefs.
Yeah.
Since my great-grandfather escaped Welsh Chapel, we'd no religion in our family, only haphazard scraps of custom. Men went to funerals and down the pub, and Sunday dinner was at 1 o'clock. Nan said we must or mustn't wear clean underwear in case we got knocked down or talk to anyone but family, never bring hawthorn blossom in the house, nor peacock feathers. Where would we get them? Never wear green or put new shoes on tables, walk under ladders, scare away black cats, and never make statements tempting fate. See you tomorrow, or I'll be back soon, without your fingers crossed and touching wood. Real wood, not head in joke or touching table through the tablecloth. Now I wear green, walk under ladders, pick whichever flowers I like, and put my new shoes on the table just to show. And in my head, I'm screaming, "Look at me, Nan, I'm fine," and think I'm free. But still, I tip my hat to magpies. For when we were driving back from Wales, when I was pregnant with our second child, we kept seeing magpies strung along a fence, sitting on curbstones, balanced on a branch, always in threes. And when I had a girl, I thought, well, okay, Nan, perhaps you've won.
Blessings. It's a blessing.
Very good. I was thinking that Irma's grandmother used to, in
Yeah.
the Caribbean, they didn't have any proper baths. They had a tin tub. And all the
Yeah.
children had a bath night. And she
Yeah.
said, her grandmother used to say, Irma, you've got to wash down as far as possible, wash up as far as possible, and then wash possible.
That's lovely. That's
That's
so
a good one.
nice.
Lovely.
Mm, yeah. The advice of older people's, largely
Yeah.
unheeded now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nick, are you good to go? Lounging away there on mute.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Good.
This is a lovely little poem. It's about a bird. It's not about anything else. It's just about a bird, and it's called Chaff. For some, 2 notes are just enough to define who they are, what they want. The chiff-chaff is just such a bird. A simple chap, unlike his fellow warblers. Choosing a perch among the leaves, he lets the whole world know he's here. Seemingly made from fertile stock, right here in charge of this territory. Go away and let me fuck you altogether. He lacks the capacity to extrapolate. He has no song within him to share, no clever trills to lift our hearts, engage our brains, just one message in a language that is devoid of beauty. I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, making the woodland great again.
That's very accurate, that. Because sometimes they don't shift, and they just do chaff. You just hear tap, tap, tap. Instead of doing the chaff bit, they're quite lazy in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more for us, Nick?
Sometimes they're very one note.
You got a pied wagtail or something for us there, or?
I got a couple of poems that narrowly missed the cut for my latest book.
Right.
This one's Poem for an Unhappy Child. It's raining, I'm wet, cause and effect, but sometimes quite the other way, I'm melting on a summer's day, and sometimes I will simply hide the weather I feel deep inside. You're not alone, you never are, the friends you need are never far. Perhaps you haven't met them yet, and everything feels sopping wet. Don't dry your eyes, it's good to cry. When you're cried out, there's time to dry.
It's true.
Nice one.
And this is entitled, The archetypal homeless man demands a name, for social services to list it, for employers to dismiss it. Let us give him one of yours, your father's name perhaps, or, if you have one, that of your firstborn son. In the same way, a book demands a title, for Amazon to list it, for critics to dismiss it. Let's give this book one of yours, your favourite phrase perhaps, or, if you have one, your deepest, darkest secret. The homeless woman is feeling ignored, expecting to be in verse 2. It is wrong to keep her waiting in the cold. Luckily, she is more welcome at shelters unless she is disturbed, which of course, by this point in the book, it is apparent that most of us are.
Wow. It's quite subtly powerful, that, Nick, isn't it? Thank you. Right. You're going to get... Is that enough now? You any more? Or...
No, that's enough.
That's enough. Okay. All right.
I'm limiting you today.
Don't want to overwork you. I don't want to overwork you. Peter, have you got any lovely poems for us?
Right. I'm going to read a couple of poems by Mervyn Peake.
Oh, yes. Gormenghast, isn't he? Did he write Gormenghast?
Yes, he did. This was written in 1942. No, I'm right. Digging a trench, I found a heart-shaped stone. Digging a trench, I found a heart-shaped stone. Freeing its surface of the loam, I held it, why so tenderly, in my grimed palm. I let the army shovel fall away and held the heavy heart-shaped stone within a cup I formed between my working hands, as though it were a wounded bird whose breast throbbed delicately against my fingertips. And it grew heavier and heavier until it had become your heart and mine, fused in a fierce embrace of solid stone. And Dead Rat. Were I a farmer, I would call you Vermin, because you'd be the villain of my crops and gnaw my wealth. But I am not a farmer, but only one that walks the farmer's fields. And so when I came upon your stiffened body, lying alone and flowered with frost, your eyeballs glazed and your little front paws so beseeching crossed on your breast and pink like human fingers. And when I saw your deadness in the frozen light of the winter morning, I, unmanly, unfarmerly, and most impractically, felt that rats even have a right to live, and knew that there was beauty in your body, dusted with starry marvels of bright frost, and beauty in the little hands you crossed upon your breast before you died this morning. And I just do two quite short ones. As a great town draws the eccentrics in. As a great town draws the eccentrics in, So am I like a city built of clay, where madmen flourish. For beneath my skin, in every secret arch or alleyway that winds about my bones of midnight, they lurk in their rags, impatient for the call to muster at my breastbone and to cry for revolution through the capital. And finally, Victoria Station, 6:58 p.m. Sudden, beneath the pendant clock, arose out of the drab and artificial ground a horse with wings of scarlet, and pale flowers glimmered upon his forehead, while around his neck and mane, like wreaths of incense, streamed young hosts of stars. And as his eyes burned proud, the men with black umbrellas stood and stared and nudged each other, and then laughed aloud.
Strange,
Wow.
strange chat.
Yeah. I never thought of Croydon as a town of eccentrics, but it's got some characters in it. So that's for sure.
Amen.
Didn't draw them in. Drew them in.
Croydon's
very,
trimmed
very
with
good.
Gormenghast these days.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to carry on then with the last. Well, I won't not do it all. I'll save the rest for our next Zoom. If you remember, the prince, who's a bit, he was clever to keep himself awake using the hedgehog quills to keep awake, but he could have just nicked the bird in the first place and taken it back to get his dad well, but of course he didn't, because he didn't follow advice. So that gave him another task, and he didn't follow advice again, which gave him another task, and he's now on his third task. He's got to bring Gilda the Gold back from the Black Sea. So here we go. Part 3. Our hero is challenged by a devious queen who will not give up what is due. Gilda's mother, the Sea Queen, it's she you must ask for the hand of gold, Gilda, to finish your task. The Queen's castle is gold too, and you will soon see that the Sea Queen has lovely daughters 3. To choose the right one, this I must stress, select only the one in the shabbiest dressed. Do not go for glitter like you always have done, or the fierce Sea Queen, she'll have you on the run. You'll soon have to run. The prince chose the right one, who was dressed so bland. Got to pull this down. But the Sea Queen refused to give him her hand. The Queen said, "Whether you choose right, I will not say. You must go away now and come back the next day." In the rose garden at dawn, he could only stare at the beautiful princess with soft golden hair. Gilda liked the young prince, and so gently said, "My mother will change me, but your clue is a housefly over my head." The Sea Queen disguised all her daughters 3, but the prince chose by the buzzing that wasn't a bee. The Sea Queen tried to hide all her rage far away, saying quietly, "Come tomorrow, for one more task is on that day." Early next morning, the Queen gave him a sieve. "Use this, drain the lake by sunset, then with Gilda you'll live." The poor prince worked hard, but always in vain, for he knew in his heart that the lake would not drain. He sunk down to his knees in total frustration. Then up stepped lovely Gilda to be his salvation. She threw the sieve in the lake, saying, "Long enough have you toiled." With these words the lake water seethed, heated and boiled. A great mist arose, and then the red fox came. "We must leave quickly now, it's unsafe to remain." Like a breeze, Goldmane took them, Firebird overhead. Red Fox erased the tracks down which they just fled. At once the young prince was filled with great sorrow, for he knew that for Goldmane, Gilda must go on the morrow. That was the price. It filled him with pain. To cure his sick father, he must keep Goldmane. "Fear not," said Red Fox. There are things I can do. Princess, I'll change shape to look just like you. I will present myself to the King of Silver, whilst Prince, you ride off with your lovely Gilda. Part 4. The prince saves his friends, but at a terrible price. Silver King was joyful to have his full share of Princess Gilda with her golden hair, but one of his barons, much to his surprise, told the king that his bride in waiting had fox's eyes. There was a full hue and cry, shouts of tally-ho. Red Fox changed and he knew he must go. He hurried to join the four friends again, whilst concocting a plot to keep Gold Mane. Red Fox repeated the trick he knew well, of course, changing at once into the gold-maned horse. The king of the Copper Castle could not hide his delight when the gold-maned horse galloped into his sight. Once again, a sharp-eyed aristo started the fuss when the gold-mane's tail changed to a fox's brush. Red Fox resumed his Reynard running gear and said to himself, I must take off from here. Red Fox smiled round at his friends. It's been great fun, but here my journey ends. But young prince, don't rest, just roam. Stay wide awake all the way home. They reached the point where the three paths met. His twig, now a flowering lilac tree, where they sheltered from the wet. Weariness descended, and all four fell asleep. So failed to see the brothers their rendezvous keep. Both saw a dead twig on their own track. Then they noticed the treasures near their brother's sack. Right there, beneath the lilac tree, a wondrous horse, bird, girl, and the prince they did see. Their hearts were filled with lust and avarice. It's just not fair that he should have all of this. They laid their plans and thought them through. Then their little brother they slew. To cover their tracks, they carved him up with many a slash and many a cut. Gilda was shocked into a stunned silence by such a display of wanton violence. You'll get the same if you say one word. We'll finish you off with this very sword. One coveted the golden girl, the other the gold horse. Father would have the firebird. They'd take his throne, of course. The wicked brothers told their father that their brother they'd not seen. Perhaps he drowned at sea or married some foreign queen. The old king stayed in sadness. The firebird would not sing. Gold Mane would not eat her food, nor Gilda stop her sobbing. Back near the path where the three tracks meet, Red Fox felt his work was not finished yet. Then his eyes filled with tears like a salty sea at what he saw all around the lilac tree. Gentle prince, you travelled far for your father's health, and on your journey you found great wealth. But now, dear friend, can this be true? Just look at what has been done to you. Red Fox found the parts of the prince all around the tree, placing them in order in rough assembly. He stopped a young crow making off with the jaw and pinned the carrion down hard under his paw. Mother Crow came up, all a wailing and a weeping. Red Fox, let him go, he's no good for eating. Red Fox said, Ma Crow, you can save all your strife. Fly to the Black Sea, fetch me the waters of death and the waters of life. The crow winged her way there and winged her way back, bringing in both types of water, each in a fish sack. At that, Red Fox let young Crow go and sprinkled death water on the prince in a throw. This joined up his limbs and healed up his scars, without a hint of princely life there under the stars. Red Fox knew it was time. Red Fox knew the life water he'd need. He scattered some on, then watched the prince breathe. Once the prince was awake, Red Fox then made sure that his young friend knew all that had gone on before. Red Fox said, I'll go now, and it's all up to you. I think by now you've learnt wisdom and will know what to do. You'll get the next part in the next Zoom. That's it.
I love a nice story.
Very good.
Yeah.
He probably looks like, Frankenstein's monster, wouldn't he, with all the stitches? No, I'm sure the fox made a nice job of it.
Brilliant. Well
There's not much more to go, actually. I could finish it off if you're not too bored.
Yeah.
It's only,
done.
I'll finish it off then. I do get sick of the sound of my own voice and I'm reading these long things. Part 5, a humble return home to put things right. The prince journeyed home as soon as was able and got a job with the horses in the royal stable. When Goldmane saw her master again, her good health and joy to all were plain. Word reached the king of a young stable lad who had a red glyph gift for making animals glad. The king thought, you know, it's not so absurd. Perhaps he can cure my silent firebird. En route to the court, the prince saw Gilda's gold hair, who laughed and embraced when she saw her love there. Above them the firebird flew round in full song, so his father felt well before very long. Father, dear father, just look and see. Beneath all this grime, it's actually me. The king wept his tears of unalloyed joy and held on very tight to his youngest boy. Great was the king's anger at his two evil sons to hear when he got to hear of their machinations. They went to the tower and lived in great fear that their date with the Axeman could one day come near. The prince and the princess came to rule the great realm with, at the first sign of trouble, a red fox at the helm. So, if life's full of challenge, trouble and pox, just make sure you have a friend who's a magical fox. Boom, boom. Finish.
Wicked.
Yeah.
I want a magical fox. Yes.
Yes, that was good, wasn't it?
Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Basil, his name was Basil.
That was red fox.
Yes.
Very good, Jules.
Oh, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, I've got another one called The Witch and Her Servants, which is similar, and King Kajata is another one, which is actually it's quite based on Crimea and that sort of part of the world, Ukraine. Yeah. Oh, and another one I've got as well. I forget what it's called now. There's another one. There's 4 of them anyway.
Right.
Wow.
Very good.
Mm.
But they do take a lot of reading, and people tend to fall asleep, you know. So
Oh, we're all still awake, Jules.
very
So
good.
you've done good.
Excellent, very good. But it's also difficult when you've got to read off a screen instead of off a piece
Yes.
of paper.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm sort of going like this, and you know.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh well, it's been lovely, isn't it? I'm enjoying that again. Always,
Very nice.
Great evening.
it kind of therapy for me because it means I don't totally leave you all.